Imagine walking down the street and suddenly finding yourself in a different era. A world where people are dressed in Victorian clothes, old-fashioned cars drive by, and everything feels wrong. But then, in an instant, you're back in the present, left wondering if it was all just a dream. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's called a time slip, and shockingly, people all over the world have reported these strange occurrences. Are these real-life glitches in time, or just tricks of the mind? Today, we're unraveling the mystery behind time slips, and trust me, by the end, you'll be questioning reality as you know it. Time slips are one of the most baffling phenomena in the world of the unexplained. Unlike time travel in science fiction, which usually involves machines or futuristic technology, time slips are different. They're sudden, uncontrollable, and often terrifying. People describe them as moments when they suddenly and briefly find themselves in the past or even the future. These experiences don't follow the rules of time or logic, but the details are often so vivid that they leave the person questioning what really happened. From eerie tales of tourists in France walking into a 1900s hotel to motorists on highways suddenly driving through long-forgotten eras, there are hundreds of accounts of ordinary people who claim they've lived these strange moments. So, what's going on? Are these just tricks of perception? Or is there more to time than we understand? Let's explore some of the most compelling stories of time slips, dig into the scientific explanations, and consider the mind-blowing theories that might explain these mysterious events. Number 1. The Bold Street Time Slip. A journey to the 1950s. Let's start with one of the most well-known cases of a time slip, often referred to as the Bold Street Time Slip. In 1996, a man named Frank was out shopping with his wife on Bold Street, a bustling part of Liverpool, England. His wife popped into a bookstore, and Frank wandered down the street. But as he walked, something strange happened. The noise of the city faded, and when he looked around, he realized the cars on the street were no longer modern. They were from the 1950s. The shops around him had changed too. The trendy stores had been replaced by old-fashioned shops, the kind his parents might have visited. Frank was in disbelief. Was he dreaming? Everything around him looked real. The people, the smells, the sounds of 1950s Liverpool. He even bumped into a woman who seemed just as confused as he was, though she quickly disappeared into the crowd. Suddenly, the scene shifted back, and Frank was standing in present-day Liverpool once again. To this day, he swears what he experienced was real, but what caused it? And more importantly, how could something like this even happen? Frank's story isn't an isolated case. Over the years, dozens of people in Liverpool have reported similar experiences of suddenly being transported to the past while walking through Bold Street. Could this area be a hotspot for time anomalies? Number 2. The Vanishing Hotel. A night in the 1900s. Another chilling time slip occurred in 1979 when two English couples were traveling through rural France. They were on vacation, and after a long day of driving, they needed a place to stay for the night. They found a small, old-fashioned hotel with thick wooden beams, antique furniture, and no modern amenities. Even the bed linen seemed like they belonged to another era. The next morning, they had breakfast, paid their bill, which was surprisingly cheap, and drove off. A few days later, they decided to return to the charming hotel on their way back. But here's the eerie part. When they arrived, the hotel was gone. Not closed, not abandoned, gone. There was no trace of the building, and locals had no memory of such a place ever existing. The couples later discovered that their descriptions of the hotel, from the decor to the style of dress of the staff, matched the early 1900s. How did they spend a night in a hotel that seemingly no longer existed and had been gone for decades? This story raises one of the biggest questions about time slips. Are they glitches in time, where the past and present overlap? Or is there another, stranger explanation? Number 3. Scientific theories. Can time really bend? So, what could be causing these bizarre time slips? Let's look at some of the scientific theories. Faulty memory or imagination. One of the more skeptical explanations for time slips is that they are the result of false memories or suggestibility. Our brains are powerful, and under certain circumstances, like stress, fatigue, or heightened emotions, it's possible for people to misremember things or even hallucinate vivid scenes from the past. But here's where things get tricky. Many time slip experiences are shared by multiple people, just like the couples in France. How do we explain group time slips if it's all in their heads? Quantum physics and time distortions. Then there's the mind-bending world of quantum physics. Some scientists theorize that time might not be as linear as we think. In fact, Einstein's theory of relativity suggests that time can bend and stretch under certain conditions, particularly around massive gravitational forces. While these concepts are usually applied to objects like black holes, some researchers believe that under certain unknown conditions, time could fold in on itself, allowing brief glimpses of the past past, or even the future. This could explain why some people experience short, intense bursts of a different era, only to return to their present time. There's also the idea of wormholes, hypothetical tunnels in space-time that could connect different points in time and space. Could it be possible that time slips occur when someone accidentally stumbles into one of these temporary rips in the fabric of reality? Electromagnetic fields and time perception. Some researchers also point to electromagnetic fields as a possible explanation. It's been shown that high levels of electromagnetic activity can sometimes cause hallucinations or alter a person's perception of time. Areas with unusual electromagnetic activity, like Bold Street in Liverpool or the Bermuda Triangle, have long been associated with strange phenomena, from ghost sightings to time slips. Could it be that these fields distort our sense of time, causing us to briefly experience the past? Number 4. Are time slips evidence of parallel universes? There's one more theory that takes us deep into the realm of speculation: parallel universes. The idea is that multiple versions of reality exist at the same time. In one universe, you're watching this video in the present, but in another universe, it's 1950, and you're living in a completely different version of the world. Some theorists believe that time slips occur when these parallel universes overlap for just a moment, allowing us to experience a brief glimpse of another timeline. Maybe Frank on Bold Street wasn't just seeing the past. Maybe he was crossing into a parallel universe where the 1950s never ended. It's an intriguing idea, and while it sounds far-fetched, quantum theory has opened the door to all kinds of strange possibilities about the nature of time and reality. Number 5. Real accounts. More stories of time. Time slips aren't just rare, isolated events. People from all over the world have reported similar experiences, each one more bizarre than the last. In 1994, a woman driving through Louisiana claimed that the highway in front of her suddenly shifted. The modern cars disappeared, and she found herself on an old dirt road, surrounded by farmland and 1940s vehicles. After driving for a few minutes in shock, the scene shifted back to the present, leaving her completely stunned. In 1943, during World War II, a pilot flying over Scotland reported flying through a strange mist and seeing a massive battleship below him. However, after returning to base, he learned that the ship he saw had been decommissioned years earlier. These stories share similar patterns: sudden changes in the environment, vivid experiences, and an unexplainable return to the present. What's happening during these time slips? Are people truly stepping into another time? Or is there another deeper mystery waiting to be uncovered? So what are time slips? Are they glitches in the brain, distortions in time, or evidence of parallel universes? While science offers some explanations, there's still so much we don't know about how time and reality works. For now, time slips remain one of the most puzzling and captivating mysteries of our world. They make us question the very nature of time, reality, and our place in the universe. Whether you believe these stories are true or simply a trick of the mind, they remind us that the world is full of strange phenomena that defy explanation. Do you believe in time slips? Have you ever experienced something similar? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by mysteries like these, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. There's so much more out there waiting to be discovered, so stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.